Good morning, everyone. It's Hump Day. It's 6 minutes after the hour 6 o'clock. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside. Shane Matabin, half man, half amazing, is on the line from Vancouver, British Columbia. Tom Eagle off your morning. Mayor here in Bozeman, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, brought to you by, guess who? The Club Tavern and Grill. There in the Best Western Grand Tree on North 7th across from Walmart. That's where the locals go, and tell them Tom and Shane sent you in. How you doing, Shane? Good morning.
Well, the dull half of the dynamic duo is up and alive. I'm so excited for the debate tonight. I got to see Mighty Mike. Mighty Mike is going to be great. I want to see them punch out this 5'6", 78-year-old billionaire that spent $250 million and says he's going to sell his company if elected president.
Yeah. We can't wait.
The farmers are all stupid, need more gray matter, and they just poke holes in the ground, dump seeds in, and the corn growth pops up. I mean, how hard is that?
That's right.
Wow. Well, he just lost 34 states, okay?
Yeah.
It's gone.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's my morning. There you go. What's yours?
Well, as I said before, I said you can't give any credence to anything that Bloomberg says and ignore what Trump says. You can't go after one guy and ignore the other one.
Well, I've been going after the other guy for 5 years. I mean,
I mean that's true, but what I'm saying is that if you're going to fault Bloomberg for things he says and not do the same with Trump, then
I don't know.
All bets are off.
Trump reminds me of a P-51 fighter, that was at Iwo Jima, which we're celebrating today, almost 78 years ago, and that was over the island and trying to find those pesky Japanese hiding there, the 21,000 of them, and gets peppered and lands back on the aircraft carrier with all these bullet holes.
Right. Yeah.
And he comes off the plane and the lieutenant looks at him and says, "Captain, I mean, what happened to your?" "Oh, I ran into some rain." Really?
Yeah, a little rain ran out there. So, well, speaking of rain, we don't have any in the forecast.
Neither do we. Nothing but sunshine. We were 58 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, well, we're going to be partly sunny today, then gradually becoming sunny. We're going to have a high again of 29 degrees today. A little cool, but. Light and variable winds. We've got no wind chill. Could go down to 0, but there's no snow in the forecast for today or tonight. Clear, low around 7 tonight. Wind chill could go down to 0 again. And then Thursday, sunny with a high near 38. Wind chills as low as 5 below because we're going to have some wind accompanying the sun. And Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 13 degrees. And then on Friday, sunny with a high near 42. So that should be nice. And the winds are calming down a little bit. And then Friday night, clear with a low around 21. And then on Saturday, it's sunny with a high near 44 degrees. And on Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 23. And then on Sunday, snow moves back. We got a chance of snow afternoon on Sunday. Mostly cloudy with a high near 43. Sunday night, chance of snow, low around 24. No accumulation listed. And then for your commute back to work on Monday, chance of snow, cloudy with a high near 33. And then Monday night, chance of snow again, cloudy with a low around 17. And then on Tuesday, another chance of snow, but we don't have any accumulation listed there, Shane. So it should be, we'll probably get a little dusting here and there, but nothing serious to.
Well, it's beautiful here. We have all of our beautiful purple crocuses that are open and beautiful beds of little baby purple crocuses. And all the stems are up on our daffodils with the buds on top waiting to pop. So another 3 days like we've had today, and all of our daffodils will be popping all over the place. And the trees are now full, all popped. Everything's going good here. We're getting ready for our spring.
How is that possible when you're so much further north than we are?
I'm just a warm-hearted guy.
Apparently, I don't know. And there ought to be a law against. You should be having ice covered trees or something up there.
It's called the Pacific currents.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know. Well, send it over here because.
Yeah, I'm afraid it might send the coronavirus over here.
Well, it probably will. Yeah. Temperatures are out of the air right now. Livingston is 10 degrees. Manhattan is 15. Three Forks is 17 degrees. Gallatin Gateway is 2 degrees. Big Sky is 0 and partly cloudy. West Yellowstone, 16 below and cloudy. And Gardner's 4 below. And Ennis is 6. And at the airport in Belgrade, it's 14 degrees right now. And we're right at 19 degrees at 11 minutes after the hour. And looking pretty good so far. But, well, if you're traveling, don't go east.
Yeah, right.
Do not go east, man. Livingston to Bozeman is not good, so give yourself some extra time there getting over Bozeman Hill, blowing snow and everything there. And also, if you're going to Big Timber, Columbus, Billings, not good going that direction. If you're going up to Harlowtown from Livingston, don't do that. Don't go to White Silver Springs either if you don't have to. Absolutely not. So, Homestake Pass, nothing there all the way up to Missoula. Yeah, if you got to go that direction, it's pretty clear up until you get to outside of Three Forks, and as you're going into those mountains before you get to Homestake Pass, a lot of checkered lines there. From Three Forks up to Townsend and up to Helena, looks pretty clear on 287. But again, going south, if you're going down 90 or 89 rather, or 191. Those are spotty and pretty clear from Ennis down. So go that way if you can. And otherwise, yeah, east and west are kind of bad. South through the mountains is not all that great, but going from Ennis down is pretty good. And going up from Three Forks up to Helena is pretty good. So other than that, though, if you don't have to get out on the highways, don't do it.
That's right.
Think staying where you are. It's really nice where you are.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Well, our poll question yesterday is climate change a real threat? 69% said no, it's hype to make the rich richer. 9% said yes, we have less than 10 years of a life. 6% were undecided, and 14% had other answers. The biggest hoax in human history, it is both a threat and a blessing. It's a wealth distributing gambit. The climate is warming. The question is why? No, it's a natural phenomenon. The left version is a ploy to destroy the middle. It's always been a factor in the planet, a natural force. Of course, humans' problems. Yes, but we have more than 10 years of life. Yes, not caused by humans, caused by sun and earth magnetic shield decline. It's not about climate. It's about world government, the biggest con in history. Excuse to redistribute wealth around the world. Absolutely, for 5,000 years, men have kept records of climate change. Rich, richer, and control of the people. So those are some of the other responses we got. Today's poll question, how do you feel about Bozeman roundabouts? In early voting, 59% like them. They make traffic flow better. 22% hate them, say they're very dangerous. Some other answers, they would be fine if people actually knew how to use them. This city has no effing clue how to build a road.
That's true.
I plow snow. They are annoying. I would bet they are for the snowplow people. And a huge waste of money and makes it difficult for big trucks to get through. Yeah, if it's not big enough for a truck to get around, or whatever, not wide enough, I can imagine truck drivers have a real problem with some of them. Anyway.
Well, we took common sense when we built ours here because of the winter. We built them flat. So, it's not a problem to plow. Yeah. You don't need a mound in the middle, all right?
Okay, so yours are all flat. So you can just go straight across?
No, for snow plowing. That's why they did it.
Well,
So there's no reason to have something pretty in the middle. It's just a circle.
well,
You know,
you have to have
no
something
wonder.
you have to have something in the middle, or people just drive straight across.
No, you're breaking the law when you do that, Tom.
Well, so
People,
what?
you should visit Vancouver and get on. See
Okay,
like,
I better go.
no, what rush hour is like on the bridges. Every
Yeah.
other car lets the next car in. No one fights
yeah.
over it.
Okay. Use the zipper method, huh? Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
Yeah, it's a
Well, the Eagle Man taught me something.
Yeah,
this morning.
that's called the zipper method. Yeah, that you let everybody.
I'm going to tell everyone here it's a zipper method.
All right. Yeah, you better do that. All right. Let's see. As of this morning, the debt per citizen to how much you owe the United States of America is $70,726. The average assets per citizen, $443,901. So.
And Venezuela?
Venezuela, let's
remember what socialism is.
They are holding steady with an inflation rate of 9,585.50%.
I'll bet they love living in the tropics with nothing.
That's right. Yep. So if a candy bar is $1, you better take $9,500 down there to get that $1 candy bar.
So you know what they're fighting over now in China? Toilet paper, folks.
Okay.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah.
I had no idea what
the one product in the world with the smallest margin, and it only works by volume because they have to sell it by volume.
I would imagine they probably do. Supersize in China must be like a bales of hay we see out on the,
like apparently
field.
$1 US a roll right now. That's how bad it is.
Oh man,
wow. This is serious.
Ouch.
We're talking hundreds of millions of people. Come on, this is serious.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you got to have quite a bit there. Do
mean,
they have a number of squares restriction?
Yeah, I don't know, but Clint complains about the sewage problem he's got. Can you imagine China? Oh my goodness!
Now, is this 1 ply, 2 ply? Do we know?
Any ply that they can get their hands on.
Yeah. All right. What, they run out of bamboo?
Maybe. Well,
ouch.
No. The leaves are soft.
That's maybe that's it. All right.
That's why the pandas love them. They're just nice and soft.
Yeah. Gold cracked 16 yesterday, 1601, and and oil went up 52, or went up to 52, and the U.S. Treasury holding steady at 155, just not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Well, and the big problem again, folks, is the euro. Mm-hmm. It broke $1.07.
Yeah.
And that's another basis point. And so we got to watch this because it's back over $1.08 now. But this morning in early trading, it was $1.07.
Yeah.
It isn't good.
Yeah.
Not good, Tom.
Not good.
Don't like that.
Yeah. Well, what is good is our downloads, 3,247 downloads of our shows. That's, to me, that's still mind-boggling. 333 shows, 3,247 downloads of our shows. So if you miss any part of any show, you can easily find it on our AM 1450 KMMS app or at KMMSAM.com. And just click on the podcast,
32 shows away for a magic year.
That's it, man. Wow, we are
Gosh, I can't believe I will have spent a year with you.
I know.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Over a year.
I mean,
yeah, it's been over a year.
Does that constitute a relationship? I mean,
we're joined at the mic.
Yeah, do we exchange keys to our houses?
Yeah, right. Yeah. My wife was asking me the other day, we're going to go down and get the real ID coming up here April, I think. We got an appointment to go to the DMV and get the you got to take deed to your house and your mother's maiden name and I don't know, your license plates and everything in.
Well, I got to say this. I love the farmers and the ranchers of Montana, and I know that Bloomberg doesn't understand at all what you apparently do. So lead it in there, baby, because we got to go.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been disillusioned about the farmers and ranchers. I thought they were hardworking people that, went out and tilled the soil, and apparently it's no big deal what they do, according to Bloomberg.
You want to start a brush fire, don't you? Come on, you really do. Yeah.
All right. Well, having grown up on the farm, I got some idea of what it's like. So
yeah, I'll bet you do.
So I will say, I'm still going to say, if you're sitting down to a nice breakfast, thank a farmer, thank a rancher, thank a truck driver and whoever brought it to you. And they are hardworking folks out there. We are happy to bring them news and agriculture, which is going to start right now. 27 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside. Welcome back to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, and brought to you by the Club Tavern and Grill, located in the Grand Tree Best Western Hotel across from Walmart. And tell them Tom and Shane sent you down from our text line, Shane. 478-8298. One thing about my marriage, it's never involved me having to send hush money to a porn star cheating on my spouse. That's from Pete. And breaking news: Trump pardons childhood friend Hannibal Lecter.
Oh gosh,
that was a good one. Trump is pardoning all his rich crook friends, and the cult thinks he's one of them. He's laughing at you. Trump's first 3 years created 1.5 million fewer jobs than Obama's last 3. How many times do I have to say it? Presidents don't create jobs.
Oh, well,
yeah. Good people.
Their departments do if they hire them. But
well, yeah, I guess that's it. Good people don't defend a bad man. I wonder how much money Trump received for commuting Blagojevich's sentence. Well, I don't think Blagojevich has got a whole lot of money. Maybe he does. I don't know. But anyway, that's interesting thing about Blagojevich. I don't know if you know this or not, Shane. He, in prison, he's the lead singer of a prison band.
That's right, he is.
Yeah. And the band had to dissolve because the lead guitarist got released.
That's right. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's been in jail for 8 years in Colorado, and in the federal prison there.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most dangerous federal prisons in the U.S.
Yeah.
This is not simple stuff.
Not a fun place to be.
No.
Right. All right. We'll be back here shortly. Let's see from our app chat line. Is there a place to download the promo pieces that you play? I'm particularly interested in the Ben Shapiro bits. Not that I'm aware of, mostly because they're copyright by Ben Shapiro and Town Square Media. The only thing I can suggest to you is get a tape recorder, put it by the radio, and when they come on, tape them or whatever.
Or listen to us, because we are listen to us, better.
Yeah, because we're more fun than Ben is anyway. Yeah, so and we talk much slower too. So we'll be right back with more right after the news at the bottom of the hour. 24 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside. Shane and Tom and half man, half amazing on the line. Tom Eagle, your morning mayor in the house. And we are brought to you by the Club Tavern and Grill, located in the Grand Tree Best Western, across from Walmart. Tell them Tom and Shane sent you. And Shane, I have a project for you. I spent... Oh, gosh, I must have spent 2 hours last night looking on the internet, and I can't find what I was looking for. So I'm gonna assign you this task. I need a source for the Democrats camping out a day and a half or 2 days before the debate to get in. Don't they want to see these highly energized, enthusiastic people running for their party? I mean, wouldn't they be camped out with tents and, their water bottles in Las Vegas, anticipating the dramatic events that are going to unfold, tonight. But I can't find a single picture of anybody camped out or long lines waiting to get into the debate. I don't know. You got to find that for me.
All right, but did you in Washington State? Bernie had a rally with 17,000 people in a building. It was huge.
Yeah, well, all right, good for him.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. Apparently, in Las Vegas, they don't want to see Bernie. So I don't.
No, well, of course not. Why would they want to see Bernie? Yeah. The way he shakes his hand at you, I mean, you feel like you're in first grade. Like that's what oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now,
Miss Chestnut, I had Miss Chestnut at Poly Drive School. She was like 62.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Wow, she was scary. She was like 5. I was taller than her.
Yeah.
and I was 6 years old. Oh my gosh, with these little round glasses, and she come up and point in your face. Oh my goodness, crazy. Oh my. Yeah, I have nightmares about Bernie in a dress looking like Miss Chestnut.
Oh,
seriously, I'm not kidding. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
I had one of those too, Miss Bandy that taught Latin. I took 2 years of Latin with her. And the secret of that would be if you could go into the class and you could get her telling a story, it would last the whole class period, and we wouldn't have to do any Latin.
That's right. And the only Latin you learned with her was my copa, my copa, my copa.
Yeah. Now I learned ego amo te, I love you, and my country es patria mia.
Oh, boy.
America's my native country. So
there you go.
That was the only things I remember from Latin that I've brought to this radio station.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's right. Well, I don't know, man. The more of this, the DNC seems to be really working overtime to defeat Bernie, but it's not working so far.
Well, it's so incredible. I mean, in 2016, Hillary spent $650 million to defeat Bernie in the primaries.
Yeah, but she had the super delegates, though.
I know.
I mean, that was.
She spent $650 million to get to the convention and all.
Yeah.
Then they spent $700 million to try to defeat Trump. So, that's almost $1.4 billion.
Oh, yeah.
This year they're already at $750 million that they've spent in the primary. They haven't even nominated anyone yet. They've only had 2 votes. I mean, they may spend $1 billion before the convention and the election to just nominate somebody. Meanwhile, Trump's just motoring along and raising money. Yeah,
he's going to have a big thing with the Oracle guy, Larry Ellison. It's going to $250,000 per person.
Wow!
In California, no less. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
And tonight he has a big rally in Arizona. So
I thought he was in Vegas.
He's in Vegas to have a rally, I think, but also I think tonight in Arizona. Either tonight or tomorrow night. But I know he's going to. Of course,
I thought he was having one in Vegas tonight to compete with to show them who's going to show up where.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't matter where I go. People camp out to see me.
Yeah. Last night they were talking about the Spanish vote.
Yeah.
And how what is happening with, and they actually had this guy on MSNBC, MSNBC saying, well, the Mexican American vote is sort of undecided, but it's not entirely in favor of Trump. It's just 60 to 40. 60% don't want him to be a real. If he gets 40% of the Mexican vote, it's over, Tom.
I would say so. Yeah. That would do it.
That's right.
Let's see, from our text line, 478-8298, Shane, that's no surprise that 17,000 people came to see Bernie in Seattle. There is something seriously wrong in the water there and has caused a lot of mental derangement. Just stands to reason. That's from not your sister Sam, or Tam, rather, I should say, not Sam.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had to watch all these debates as you have. Well, no, you have to go to sleep. So
yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know how much of this one I'm
looking forward. This is going to be like a bunch of battleships.
Yeah, you're gonna be the on scene reporter for us tomorrow as to what happened there. So I got to take a quick break here. We'll be right back with more Morning Soapbox right after this. 14 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 20 degrees outside. The chair recognizes the Honorable Shane Montalban from the great state of British Columbia with a point of order.
Thank you. Well, listen, the home team gets another gold star.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand these talking heads. They should be listening to our downloads. We called for an open convention last November. Yeah. We said that, that Biden was going to fall and that Bloomberg came in. I mean, we're so far ahead of these guys. It's ridiculous. And by the way, folks, I got a new nickname today, and I think it's pretty good for Bloomberg. I'm going to call him Triple B for BB Billions, okay? Triple B. So if you hear me say Triple B or BB Billions, I'm talking about Bloomberg from now on, okay? So I can play this game too.
Well, we have a caller who's Triple B also, so we don't want to get him confused.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll have to, when he calls, we'll have to, he'll be Triple B, not Bloomberg.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
And we want Pete because we know he's on the internet all the time.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, Pete, would you please send somebody, at some news station or network or something and tell them to read or get our downloads and listen for it, so they're not so far behind. I mean,
yeah, listen for 5 minutes and you'll be
I was amazed. The other day, a guy asked all of these people at a rally, Warren, Uncle Bernie, Buttigieg, and who else? Steyer.
Klobuchar and Steyer, yeah.
Who the president of Mexico was. And only one person could tell him it was Obrador, who's a socialist, by the way. And guess who it was?
Yeah.
Your man Buttigieg.
Yeah. Well, see, he speaks Spanish, I think, or I don't know. I forgot. I don't know.
He speaks several languages, actually.
I think so, yeah. Well, we were talking about roundabouts earlier with our poll question. What do you think about roundabouts? You can answer that over at our KMMSAM.com or on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS on your app. And from Belgrade, we've got I built a roundabout Sydney and Highway 23 junction. Took 2 years to build this roundabout or whatever it was. So must have been nasty weather there near Sydney, I guess. Maybe they had a lot of construction delays or money, or truck couldn't get there because too many roundabouts. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for our listener at Belgrade to do that. Speaking of Belgrade, we're going to get some folks from the government of Belgrade next week in here to talk about their fire station situation. I think that'll be a week from today, and we'll be chatting with some folks over there. So
is it a permanent station or volunteer?
Well, right now they contract with the Central City or Central Fire District, I believe.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, when they get to 10,000 population, they're supposed to have a full-time fire department.
Oh, I'm surprised they don't have a volunteer one now, but the building already up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they just the city buys the services of the Central City, I think, or Central State, or whatever they are. I don't know. We'll get all the details when we get them over here next week to talk to us. So, and the growth over there too is the other thing. Yeah.
We briefly talked about Iwo Jima, but the only other thing I want to talk about is Kansas, because it became a state I love it because of my childhood. I got to tell you this story. Okay, January 29th, 1861, 34th state to join the Union. But this is a great state. And the reason I just want to talk about it for 2 minutes, if I can, is remember as a kid, did you read comics or the books, the Western paperback books? I belonged to a paperback club, and I'd get the stories of the West, those little paperback books. They were like
I didn't.
80 pages long.
Yeah.
Anyway, so lots of stuff here. I mean, famous for John Brown. He attacked Harper's Ferry in Virginia, and so on, the Freeman, and he was an abolitionist. But this is the story of the Chisholm Trail, which John Wayne made a movie of, by the way. That dog-faced pony rider or whatever. Yeah. And it was the beginning of the Wild West era in Kansas because of Wild Bill Hickok. And he was the deputy marshal at Fort Riley and the marshal of Hayes at Aberdeen and Dodge City. And, he worked with Pat Masterson and Wyatt Earp. We know that story. And in 1 year alone, 8 million head of cattle from Texas boarded trains in Dodge City, Kansas, bound for the east to feed those hungry people out there, earning Dodge City the name Queen of Cowtowns. So it's also the Methodists and evangelical Protestants in 1881 made Kansas a dry state, the first state to adopt a constitutional amendment prohibiting all alcoholic beverages, which had to be repealed, of course, in 1948 when they repealed the alcohol. But for a long time, even today, there's a lot of parts of Kansas that are still dry. You can't buy alcohol.
Yeah.
So love Kansas. Great story. Oh, lots of farmers and ranchers there, Tom. They spent a lot of time poking holes in the ground, throwing in corn seeds and covering them up, watering them, and up comes corn.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Love that. I'm telling you.
I got to take another break. We'll be right back with more of the Morning Soapbox right after this. 4 minutes before the top of the hour, Shane Matauban, half man, half amazing, on the line with me, Tom Eagle, your morning mayor. This is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. We had a text from one of our listeners. Let's review. If you're rich and or loyal to Donald Trump, you get out of jail free. The rest of us poor slobs, not so much. And the cult continue to believe he cares about them. Sad. Trump only cares if you're rich or famous. Well, let's review as long as we're reviewing. The Department of Justice and Bureau of Prison is launching a new Ready to Work initiative to connect employers with former prisoners. Department of Labor is awarding more than $2 million to states to support fidelity bonds that will underwrite companies that hire workers with criminal backgrounds. The Department of Education is expanding an initiative that allows individuals in prison to receive Pell Grants to better prepare themselves for the workforce. And the Office of Personnel Management is working to make USA Jobs, the federal government job listings, available to individuals in federal prison and upon release. And employers realize a second chance hiring is good for their businesses, especially in today's thriving economy where there are far more job opportunities than job seekers. Nonprofits play a critical role in providing transitional assistance, counseling, housing, and education to former prisoners so they become productive members of society. So don't give me that rich crap.
Well, the Demolition Party is like, they keep talking about having to redo the prison system, and Trump's already done it. He just went over it. I mean, he got it on a bipartisan vote. The second thing is, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Got to thank Obama, though. He comes out and says yesterday that this economy is his, and it's great. And it's really, now the Democrats are in real trouble because they've been running around the country saying how terrible it is for everybody.
Well, I know you can't have it both. You can't have it both ways.
Obama won't back anyone except Trump. That's great. I think that. Now I have to go back to this because I did some context information, and today's this anniversary on Iwo Jima, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to go over it really quick.
Go for it.
So, Iwo Jima was a major battle because it was the first island of the archipelago of Japan, which is 1,900 islands, over 6,000 islands, over 1,900 miles. And it started February 19, 1945, continued to March 26, 1945, Operation Detachment. Now, the reason that I just want to bring it up, this was an island with 11 miles of tunnels. They fortified it because it was, part of the country. And we all know it because of the famous Joe Rosenthal photograph of the Marines raising the United States flag on Mount Suribachi. That's what it was, Suribachi. Now, the reason I wanted to just mention this is to give you some context.
You got 40 seconds.
All right. The 36-day Iwo Jima assault resulted in more than 26,000 American casualties, including 6,800 dead, compared to the Battle of the Okinawa, 82 days. That resulted in 62,000 casualties. 12,000 were killed or missing. In the Battle of the Bulge, 40 days, December 44 to January 45, 90,000 U.S. casualties, 19,000 killed, 47,500 wounded, and 23,000 captured. So just to give you an idea of how incredible the 18-year-olds of that day were, like the battles in Europe and the Pacific.
All right. We got to go. We'll be right back right after news at the top of the hour. 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside. Looking for a high of 29 degrees today. Remember, you can get your weather anytime you want it on the AM 1450 KMMS app. And you can also get our downloads, our podcasts. You can get the news, you can get the weather, you can get all kinds of stuff over there. So get over there and sign up, AM 1450 KMMS. Get it at the Apple Store or Google Play or anywhere you get your apps. And never be without KMMS wherever you are.
That's right, and it's Tom's Happy Hour on Hump Day, so take it away, Tom, for local news.
It is local news today, and let's see, in local news, the big story, I guess, was the bomb squad. There's a inactive Bulgarian landmine at MSU. Apparently, a student bought a landmine online and had it sent to the university. So I had it shipped to him at the university. So when they examined it, I guess they had to call the bomb squad to come in and make sure that it was not a live ordnance. And so around noon on Tuesday, two Lewis and Clark County deputies were geared up and readying a robot to retrieve the bomb from the car.
Now, we know, excuse me, we know how they handle mail in the U.S. mail. So if it didn't go off getting there.
No, it did. Yeah.
I don't think it was active.
I was going to say, they threw it in the back of the truck and, it bounced around gravel roads, probably getting here. So, that should have told you.
Probably flew in an airplane,
I was going to say, that was all you need to know is that it was delivered by the post office.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, they used an X-ray machine to figure out if it was a threat or not. So but they closed off the parking lot with all the near Yellowstone and Jefferson halls for the afternoon, turning students away whose cars were left in the lot. So you couldn't take your car out of the lot. So
yeah, training day for the bomb squad. Well done.
Yeah. By about 3 p.m., they had confirmed the landmine was inactive and said the bomb squad would take it off campus. So why would you? I wonder how much would you pay for a landmine online, Shane?
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine it's online.
I mean, is it $19.95, and if you buy one, you get the second one free? Just pay an additional fee, or what?
Well, I think you had to pay extra for pillows to keep it wrapped.
That was probably it. Yeah, you get a My Pillow with it.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Yeah, you can put it under your pillow at night. Just make sure your head doesn't get.
That's right. Yeah. Make sure your head doesn't explode.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable.
Well, Yellowstone National Park, folks there, they're looking at housing in the park, and they're going to get rid of some rundown trailers that are there. They're removing some aging mobile homes from parts of the park, and they plan to get rid of all 64 of the mobile homes and replace them with cabin-style modular homes over the next 2 years. So that'll be good, I guess. We've had employees living in trailers since the 1960s, and it's all part of a park housing improvement strategy that's in the works, and the plan is expected to be released soon. We'll detail the way the park will try to improve living conditions for its employees over the next few years. So
my older sister Valia, the trumpet, from Canada, she worked in the park for a summer. I've told that story about it. Yeah.
No, in fact, on the way to one of my speaking gigs, I sat next to a kid from Taiwan who has spent summers working there.
Yeah.
And and we're friends on Facebook and communicate every once in a while. And it's great to meet people from other places and whatever. So.
Yeah, it's a real experience of communal living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier in the show, next Wednesday we're going to have some folks over here from Belgrade that are going to talk to us. And for 2 years, officials from Gallatin County and the city of Belgrade and Bozeman have worked to define goals for a swath of land where their jurisdiction overlaps, and this is commonly known as the Triangle Growth Plan, I guess if you want to put a name to it. As the work wraps up, some Bozeman City Commission have said they're concerned that edits by fellow elected officials could go too far in go too far to hold on to consensus. The Triangle Community Plan outlines priorities for the land between Bozeman, Four Corners, and Belgrade as the area experiences growth, and the intention is to align the government's big picture goals as the area develops. So it'll be streets and businesses and all of that. What's gonna occupy those areas and the plan for that area. So. Mayor Chris Mell, who's been on the Planning Coordinating Committee that shaped the draft, said several times he's afraid commissioners suggested Bozeman language for a joint government plan. What a surprise! Bozeman influencing Belgrade and Four Corners. I can't believe it. How's that happen in the United States of America? I don't know. That's just really weird that anybody from there would do that. So I don't know. But in other news, a man accused of pointing a gun at a coffee shop worker at the Daily over on Rouse, right at the turn there at Oak. And he claimed he didn't have any money and wanted some coffee. She wouldn't give him any coffee. So he pointed a magnet at her.
A magnet?
A magnet. And told her to get her hands up. Oh, you explicitly put your hands in the air, he said. So anyway, he said it was just a joke. He was performing a comedy skit and pointed a magnet at the employee while telling her to give him all the money. And he left, of course, and they found him nearby, I guess, and took him in, and he could be facing 20 years for
a cup of coffee.
Yeah, for a cup of coffee. So I don't know. He was on probation for drunk driving. He was sentenced to 4 years of probation with the Department of Corrections, and if convicted of the assault charge, he could face up to 20 years in prison. So he's still in the county jail on a $100,000 bond.
Oh, you mean you still have bonds there?
We haven't graduated to New York yet, where you get a free get out of jail card, or a pardon from the president. So I think Trump should pardon this guy. Although I guess it's not a federal crime, so he can't. But
yeah, that's right.
He should at least talk to the judge. Make a sentence recommendation. 20 years for a magnet robbery is a little much, I think. But he didn't get anything, and he didn't hurt anyone.
There you go.
So I don't know. The punishment has to fit the crime. So I don't know.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd think so.
Well, we've got another Democrat running for the U.S. Senate. Josh Secklinger, I guess, 34, announced his candidacy in a news release on Tuesday. He says, I've never had a full-time job with benefits. I've chosen between paying my student loans and paying rent. I know what it's like to work for under $15 an hour. I'm a working-class Montanan who is here to represent working-class Montanans. So I would say he's an overachiever. What do you think?
I think he's ready to go.
Ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. All right. Let's see. Our texters are active today. Let's see what we've got over here at 478-8298. When Trump wins re-election, he will have no need for the votes of his base. Then he will turn our nation into a piggyback for his rich crook friends. You think so, huh? Well, I can't wait for that. I hope I'm one of them. Every Republican who went around stating how Trump was just concerned for corruption, and that's the whole reason he wanted Biden investigated, I hope you realized how fooled you were. Trump commuting Blagojevich's sentence and granting clemency to 10 others who were involved in corruption and fraud proves he's no concern at all about corruption. Trump is playing you all like a fiddle, just as all of us never Trumpers said he would. He proves us right every day, and every day he proves to you just how foolish you are to go along with him. Yet you still follow along, kissing his backside, begging him to allow you to do it all over again tomorrow. Oh, well, all right. Bloomberg uses his own money, and that equals bad. Trump and Gianforte use their money, and that's good. Please tell both sides of the story. Well, I don't think we've ever not said both sides of the story.
That's right.
Yeah, Gianforte's a billionaire. I'm sure he put a lot of his own money into his campaign, probably for all of them. Yeah. And Trump got away with a lot less than Hillary spent.
That's right.
Even, but if you remember, Trump didn't have any big donor base.
No.
Way back when, Now,
No,
if the Republicans had been smart, they would have done the same thing to the Republicans they did to the Democrats, and that is if you're not in 4 polls and you're not, getting donations from all these states, then Trump would have never made the first debate.
That's right. But, now, 4 years later, he's now historically, for Republicans, the largest single garner of small donations of, less than $50. So he's so way far ahead of the demolition party.
Yeah, they're loaded. Well, anytime now the candidates who are out, whatever money was donated to them, they can donate that money to another candidate.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the numbers are staggering because with
no, they are. There's no question. Yeah,
with BB's billions, the Democrats are going to spend like $2 billion for this election. It's going to be wild. I mean, this is sweet. I'm so glad you're my newest best friend because we're just gonna rock it. We're gonna have to get a wall to put the gold stars up on. Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll add another wall to this room.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, all these talking heads, have been talking for the last 3 weeks about an open convention. We've been talking about it since November. Come on, you guys, get with it.
So true. From our text line, 478-8298, if you are a rich and a liberal Democrat, you never go to prison. Hillary, for example, lock her up. Maybe they will in June when Durham comes out with his recommendations.
That's right. And again, this whole thing with the Attorney General and Trump, remember, we learned about double jeopardy, and it's real important. For Durham to do his job, they can't indict anyone in Washington, and I don't know why they don't talk about it. We're so we're talking about the reason your Attorney General isn't indicting anyone in Washington, like Comey and Stark and all these other guys, is because Durham in Connecticut will do that, and double jeopardy. I've gone over it, so we already know about this. So wait till the press catches up to us on this one.
And that'll come out in June, the month before the election, or the conventions, in other words.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, we got to take a break, but I got to tell you about the Club Tavern and Grill. They were voted Choice Best Happy Hour. The Club Tavern and Grill offers happy hour specials every day of the week. As one of Bozeman's most popular happy hour spots and sports bars, you'll be sure to find something you'll love from their extensive drink and food menu. They also serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they've got a kid-friendly menu also available. So to pick up an order or to place an order for pickup or make a reservation for parties of 6 or more, go online to theclubtavernandgrill.com, theclubtavernandgrill.com. Check them out. They're in the Best Western Grand Tree on North 7th across from Walmart. It's where the locals go. Tell them Tom and Shane sent you in. Also,
and remember, they will shake or stir your martini.
That's right. Yeah,
you want it shaken because blonde.
Well, that's true. Yeah, nobody wants a stirred martini that I'm aware of anyway.
No.
They just don't do that.
Yeah.
The Safari Club is also going to be giving away some free meat. This is free to all service members and their families with valid proof of service while supplies last. That's going to be February 22nd at the Commons, 1794 East Baxter Lane in Bozeman. And that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the 22nd. and free meat to all service members and their families with valid proof of service while supplies last. So get out there to the Commons, 1794 East Baxter Lane, 10 to 4. And also the Bozeman Sunrise Rotary, they're accepting applications till April 1st from homeowners to receive free home repairs during the 2020 Fix-Up Festival. They've been doing this for 11 years. Applicants must be low income to qualify, confirmed by HRDC as part of the application screening process. They must be from Belgrade, Bozeman, Four Corners, or Gallatin Gateway. They must live in their home, and owners of mobile and modular homes qualify as well. And preference will be given to those 65 or older, disabled, and veteran homeowner applicants. So for information, give them a call at 580-7853, 580-7853, or go online to fixupfestival.com, fixupfestival.com. Shay and I'll be back right after these important words. 24 minutes after the hour, we've got a caller patiently waiting on the line. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Well, let's say something for those who think that I don't say enough positive about Trump. Here's my take on Trump, that he's a master celebrity. He didn't need a lot of money. He just worked the media up to a frenzy and worked the public strange habit of what we call living vicariously. I think that people don't really reach out and have a greater perspective of the world because they're too busy focusing on what is now and who is the best and the brightest, whereas they could just as well be thinking about what they could do to increase a lively society. So I think that whether people were anti-Trump or pro-Trump, they were living on his every word, just hanging on his celebrity. We've become a celebrity society, and I'm not all sure that this is a good way of having an expanding society. It kind of just makes us run in place.
Well, I totally disagree with you. I think your president has done more to educate the American public about your political system, your judicial system, your legislative system. He's done it with 21st century technology and the internet because the press doesn't report what he's doing because they're so fearful of him. And if people weren't engaged, they wouldn't follow him on Twitter and Facebook. So I appreciate what you're saying, Daniel. But he's done a great service to your country. He's brought the excitement and interest in government back, and he's done a great job doing it.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree. I'm looking at more than society. It's a celebrity society. Whether he's doing great or not so great things, they're focusing on types of people that are the numero uno in the society rather than looking at their own mental health and ability to expand their life.
Well, I think you're classifying a lot of people in one group, number one, and it's always been that way. I mean, since Hollywood began 100 years ago, they're the ones that started it. So, I think the people have found themselves finally engaged with a president that wants to stand up straight and explain things and do the best he can for people to understand what he'd like to see done and get done, and solve what problems need to be solved. And he's doing a good job of both.
Yeah, I have a degree in sociology, and we live by these stats of what the people in general do. Sociology is a study of the movement of groups of people, whereas psychology is a study of individual noggins. So it's just a way of looking at things, and I think too many people have spent too much time focusing on outstanding people. We'll call Trump an outstanding person, then.
Yeah, but that's called narcissism in sociology, when you read about it. And the bottom line is that this is something that, as I said, Hollywood has created. the narcissism of Hollywood is well documented for the last 50 to 60, 70 years. So, he's just playing he's learned how to play the news cycle and maintain control of it, because if he doesn't, no one will talk about him. You got to talk about him to know what he's doing.
Yeah, they mentioned there are two significant power centers in the United States, Hollywood and Washington, D.C., and we could just as well be focusing on how to increase our own, like Montana is the Saudi Arabia of coal. We could just as well prosper, but for some reason they don't want us to use the coal and prosper like the left coast and the right coast, leftist, rightist joke.
Well, I disagree with you again there, because basically the United States is energy independent because of natural gas, and natural gas is filling its role in producing, less CO2, and it burns cleaner and produces now the most electricity in your state. 34% of your power grid is produced by gas, natural gas.
Gotta go. Hey, thanks for the call.
Nope.
All right, we'll be back right after the news. 24 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside. Shane and Tom and Half Man, Half Amazing on the line with me, and Tom Eagle up, your morning mayor, in the house. From our text line, Trump loaned money to his campaign and got paid back with interest. No, he didn't. I'm sorry. He doesn't get paid back with interest. Give me a break. Only self-funded campaign to turn a profit. Well, what you can say is that, yes, he rented property to his campaign, and why not?
Look, the guy's right. Mm-hmm. He ran a campaign and made a profit. He got elected. That's the profit. Okay.
I was going to say. Well, if he had rented property anywhere, they're not going to give it to him for free. So why should he donate his own property for free? Because people still work there. They still clean the place. There's still heat, lights, all of that. All the expenses are there. All the taxes are there. So, if he's got space available, why not use it himself? So.
Well, that's right. And BB Billion's 6 planes could fit in Trump's plane. So what do you talk? I've got to talk about the stock market real quick, because I do think the debate tonight could affect it. This is going to be real interesting as to how Bloomberg holds up. But anyway, the Dow's up 77, 29, 310, Standard & Poor's 500 up 12. Now, this is after 3 days of being down or break even. NASDAQ is at up 62 to 96 and 91. All green across Europe. So this situation in China doesn't seem to be affecting the market as much as I would have thought and you would have thought, because of what's happening. Shortages are going to start to occur. Commodities, though, boy, look at this. We've talked about this for 6 months. Natural gas, $1.95. Less than a nickel away from nirvana for the industry. $2, and all the major gas fields, fracking gas fields, are now profitable in your country. Brent is 58.64, and crude oil is 52. And just a reminder, got to get to 65 for being that oil independence in your country. Gold is up 250, 1601, and boy, silver's back over $18. So, $18. The great thing here, because of what is going on in the currency market, largest exchange in the world, the U.S. 10-year is 158. It's up marginally, and the 30-year is down marginally, which that means when you see that split that way, that means money's coming home to America. People are buying debt like crazy right now.
Yes, they are.
Because of what's going on in the world. And again, just to repeat, yep, it looks like the euro may break $1.07. It's and these traders, this is the biggest trading market in the world for banks and institutions to make the most money is on currencies. So the euro is under attack, baby, and they don't have the resources to support it.
Not without Britain.
That's right. They don't.
Germany and France are holding up. They're the two stakes in that tent.
Yeah, and I've looked at the Euro Bank balance sheet, and they just don't have enough currency to support the euro against these traders. So we got to watch this, folks. We will. That's our job.
Is the union destined for dissolvement? Is everybody going to go back to?
Yes.
I think you're probably right. It's going to take 100%. Some time. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight, but I think you're right. I think they're done. When Britain left and Germany and France aren't going to want to finance the other 20 some countries. So
yeah, and I think it'll start with Greece because I think they'll just dump Greece, and then France will run.
Yeah,
and then once France runs, it'll be Italy next, and Germany will hold on as best they can.
Yeah, but they'll be done too. All right, we've got a caller patiently waiting. Let's go to the phones. Caller, you on the air? What's going on?
Well, I don't know how important all that is. I think people are buying like crazy. They're buying hospital masks and you name
it. There aren't any.
That's where my money is, hospital masks and bedpans.
Well, that's a good thing. Right now,
only you, Tom, only you. I'm sorry, go ahead, Pete.
Right now, Washington State's monitoring 712 possible cases of the coronavirus. 25 of them have been tested. Mm-hmm. The rest have been sent home and said, contact us if you begin to show symptoms. Mm-hmm. And that's from the Washington Department of Health, and they're pretty close to us. They're just a little west. Florida's Surgeon General, one Scott Rifkes, don't want to release the number of people they've tested in Florida because it's not important because the virus isn't airborne. Now, I don't know what planet he's living on, but it's not this one. Honolulu just put a couple people that have the virus on an airplane. So don't know where they're going, but they just put them on an airplane. So both of those things that disturb. Why would you not release the number of cases you've tested? If you got the numbers, were there too many positives? Were there none? Why won't you release the number if there's none?
Fear.
To say it's not airborne. To say it's not airborne. I mean, Frank, what are you talking about? You're the only person on the planet that believes that right now. So,
well, you got a fascist state, and it's under attack for two reasons. One, it's lying to its people. It's not informing its people, and they don't have control of this virus. And they don't want to take any help tracking it down because then people would find out where it came from. But you've got to find out where it came from to make it easier to come up with something to fight it. And right now they've managed to come up with quick test packages so that you can test people for it. There's a new one out of Arizona. There's a new one actually out of Arizona that's even better. But this is a serious issue, not necessarily because of the death rate, but they don't know how long it'll last. They keep telling the people. I've got several Chinese friends, and all the people in China are being told by their government it'll be gone in April. Because it's seasonal. They're saying it's seasonal.
This virus.
What's that?
They're saying now that it's deadlier than the SARS virus, and the U.S. test kits and the Chinese kits are putting out false positives and false negatives.
I know that's why I brought up this new one out of Arizona. Looks good. It looks more positive, but it requires testing, and you got to send that to CDC because they're the only ones that can do it properly. Got to go.
All right, we got to take a break. Sorry, Pete. Hey, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. We'll be right back. 12 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19th, 2020. 19 degrees outside. Looking for a high of 29 degrees today. Remember, you get your weather anytime you want it at the AM 1450 KMMS app. Hey.
All right. So I just want to go over this so people understand that the Transitional Genomics Research Institute, they're in Flagstaff, Arizona. They're developing a test that genetic analysis reads the DNA sequence to determine the type of virus a person is infected with. So this will cover all viruses. They're working with the CDC, and the test can be conducted overnight and sometimes as little as 15 minutes. So if they can get this test, approved by the CDC, it'll go a long way in helping out the whole problem around the world. But the big scare about this, Tom, is the need for medical servicing. If this gets to Southeast Asia, they're in trouble. If it gets to South America, Yeah, if it gets to South America, they're in trouble. If it gets to Africa, I mean, wow. That's why they're scared of this thing.
Yeah, could be the plague all over again. Because,
it could be worse than Ebola.
Well, they just won't be able to make inoculations fast enough, depending on where it, what part of the world it spreads to.
That's right.
It could be a bad situation. So.
That's right, and it may take over a year to come up with something to fight it. So, bad. But we'll keep telling everyone about it because that's what we do here.
That's right. All right. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
This is Colonel Clink.
Hey.
Good morning, good sir.
Good morning there, Shane. Have you got any snow out there in Vancouver?
No, it was 58 degrees, and the crocuses are out in beautiful bloom purple, and the daffodil stalks are up and about ready to bloom. So another 3 days of this weather, and our daffodils will be blooming.
God, you're in the banana belt for sure.
Yeah. So how expensive toilet paper down there, Clint?
How's what?
How expensive is toilet paper down there?
I can't hear you too good.
Oh, okay. Tom, maybe you can ask.
He wants to know how much toilet paper is here.
Lots of it. Well,
There's going to be a lot more than the property next to you.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't even want to talk about that. It pisses me off so bad, that sewer system, that I don't even like talking about it anymore.
I appreciate that.
They're going to kill the water. But anyway, here's what I got to say this morning.
Okay.
I don't know why so many people are so upset over this coronavirus. And the reason being is this. We have a population here in the United States of about 320 or 30 million. And last year, according to George Norrie on Coast to Coast, one of the doctors was on there, and I think other people that listen will verify this, we lost 61,000 people last year from the flu in the United States. So why are we so hopped up about this coronavirus that happened in China? I'm kind of wondering about that. How come everybody here doesn't tell the truth what happened here? And
no, that's not true, Clint, because we've been reporting it. I've been reporting it to every Monday.
Well, I know you have.
Yeah.
26 million to 36 million flu illnesses to date as of February 8th.
Yeah.
2019-20, 12 million to 17 million medical visits, 250,000 to 440,000 hospitalizations, and 14,000 to 36,000 deaths this flu season. So we've been reporting it. The reason they're concerned is that, you can get a shot for the flu if they got it targeted right. If they targeted the right virus, then you're okay. But if they've produced, 100 million doses of the wrong virus.
I got enough of them shots.
Yeah, I hear you.
Tom and I did when we were in this.
Yeah.
I ain't taking any more shots. But what I'm saying was simple what George Norrie said. We've lost 61,000 people here last year from the flu.
Mm-hmm.
This virus, coronavirus, basically starts out to be the flu. So
no,
anyway,
it is a flu. It is another type of viral flu.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, why don't they talk about what we've done? See, they talk about, like you say, in short segments here and there, but the hype on this coronavirus is unbelievable.
The common flu is not news.
That's right. That's
it
right.
Isn't. If we called it the Tom and Shane virus, it'd be all over the place.
That's right.
Exactly right. And we would go viral.
We would go viral.
It is. Anyway. That's what I had to say this morning. And don't talk about the water anymore, Tom. I'm sick of it.
All right, man. I got to go take a break anyway. So, hey, thanks for the call, Clint.
Kill our water anyway.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back with more right after this. 3 minutes before the top of the hour, and the chair recognizes the Honorable Shane Montalban from Vancouver, British Columbia. Point of order, Mr. Montalban.
There's only a few things doctors can diagnose. Diagnostics is a big thing. When it comes to infections, there's three. There's fungal, bacterial, and viral. Mm-hmm. A viral is a small infection agent that replicates only inside a living cell. And Dmitry Ivanovsky in 1892 wrote a paper about a non-bacterial pathogen that was infecting tobacco plants. And Martinez Bergenik discovered the tobacco mosaic virus, first one discovered. And since then, science has discovered 5,000 viruses, folks. So there are 5,000 virus species out there. So we live in a dangerous world, and this one could be very dangerous.
Yeah, could be. The Montana News is reporting that the Federal Rocky Mountain Lab in Hamilton is making headway in treating the new coronavirus. They've had some success in treatment in monkeys. Just an FYI, that's from Not Your Sister, Tam. So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah. And let's see, has the coronavirus been discussed among the open border fighters? And they don't care about sex trafficking or drug trafficking, but is the coronavirus bringing any awareness to the issues behind why Ellis Island existed in the first place?
Well, all I can tell you is China and Russia share the second largest border in the world, and it's now closed to anyone from China.
Right.
So I mean, everybody's looking at this as to what are we dealing with, and just how bad is it? Because the WHO finally got into China, World Health Organization, so they're there, but they still refuse to let the CDC in. Well, why? Big surprise, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. What else we got here that's real short that I can get in here?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll hold off on some of the text till after the news break at the top of the hour. So this is News Radio AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, and online at fine computers around the world, KMMSAM.com. And this is the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, brought to you by who else? The Club Tavern and Grill.
Yeah.
They're located in the Best Western Grand Tree. Stop in and tell them Tom and Shane sent you. Back with more after the news. 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, it's Wednesday, February 19, 2020, 19 degrees outside, looking for a high of 29. Boy, it's hanging on that 19, Shane. I don't know. It doesn't want to move at all. As we told you on our road report, if you're going east, forget it. Don't do it. Yeah. Or south. East or south, you can't go there. Well, you can, just be careful.
Again, the eastern part of your continent has had a terrible winter. Wow.
I know, yeah. It's they're having a lot of stuff over there. From our AM 1450 KMMS app chat, it sure is funny to hear from the people of the left every time they show just how jealous and out of ideas they are. Trump is our president and is doing an excellent job, all the while dealing with the lost, vengeful, in denial Dems. Give it a rest, haters. And from Belgrade, Shane, we've got go viral. Boo, bad pun. We were talking about.
Yeah, that's very good.
Our virus report's going viral. So, yeah, that was a good one. So, let's see. From our text line, let's do a couple of those, and maybe we can get to the 5 things you need to know. Trump cult believe Comey did something wrong, and Stone is squeaky clean. Yep, it's a cult. We're laughing at you. And a quote, if you're asking what my party affiliation is, I'm a Trumpocrat, Rob Blagojevich. So I have no idea if that's an accurate Trump or an accurate quote or not, but we'll report it anyway. Isn't that what every Trump supporter affiliates as? They aren't conservative, that's for sure. Well, who is conservative on the Democrat stage tonight? Just give me who's the most conservative up there, please. Trump is more conservative than anybody in that little accolade group up there, I would say.
Well, yeah, it's fascinating with the demolition party. They beat up on Trump because he may change his mind about a position or a policy. But and then you look at these people on the stage. I mean, they were liberals, they were Republicans, then they're Democrats, they're socialists, now they're a Democrat. I mean,
I know.
They flip like pancakes on a grill. It's unbelievable.
Well, I have the perfect definition of the group you'll see tonight. The six dwarfs here, A prosperity-crushing, speech-inhibiting, nanny state-building, carbon-obsessing, patriarchal bashing, implicit bias, accusing, tokey-wokey, globalist swamp creature governing class. That's what they are.
Wow. The only thing I have that can come close is 2-bit fly-by-night punchboard idiots.
Yeah. There you are. Well, we've got to think of something besides dog-faced pony soldier, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what our father said to us growing up. So, that's,
yeah. And just from our text line, 478-8298, just like that, Trumpicans started defending a gun-grabbing Democrat Illinois governor. Welcome to the cult.
Well, you saw what happened this week, though, in Virginia. Mr. Blackface governor himself.
Yeah.
Control of the House, they control the Senate and the House in Virginia, and now the governor. And so he puts these gun laws through, and guess who votes against him? His own Democrats.
I know. They don't want it either. Well, they got to be reelected,
Yeah.
What, nobody hunts in Virginia?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah. From our text line, 478-8298, seriously, have had enough of Daniel every single day. If he wants to be on the radio every day, tell him to get his own talk show. Enough already. Let's see. None of the swamp dwellers go to prison because they all have dirt on everyone else in Washington.
That's
Democrats
true.
And Republicans. I believe that. Yeah.
I do. I 100%.
Yeah.
The corruption is so bad, and that's why they hated Trump, because we said it from the beginning. He's so wealthy, he can't be bought, and he's not corrupt. And that's what scares everybody in Washington to death.
Yeah, it is. Best we can hope for is that they all eventually go slither under rocks and disappear.
Or go get a job with China.
Yeah. Michael, Bloomberg is proof that you don't need a lot of gray matter to be a billionaire. Well, I would say if you accomplish what Michael Bloomberg did, it took a hell of a lot of gray matter to do what he did.
I don't think he's that technical. I think he bought the box, and I think.
Well, so did Bill Gates.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Xerox. He stole the program from Xerox.
Yeah. You just need to be a geeky nerd and be completely out of touch with the rest of the country. That's from John. Me was and is. Then we can discuss his love for Bernie. Okay, that's the end of the thing. let me start again. I know Andy from Big Timber is a big Bernie lover and hates conservatives. He is living in sweetgrass country that is hugely agricultural and mining. Everything Lib hates. I'm going out on a limb and assuming he is a transplant. I would love for him to call in and let us know the source of income was and is, then we can discuss his love for Bernie. So, okay.
Yeah. Well, I got to make an observation real quick. The big difference between your president and all the Demolition Party nominees is when your president punches back, right?
Yeah.
It's directed at someone.
Mm-hmm.
What's amazing about all these demolition nominees, when they punch back at a whole group of people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so amazing. They're the party of minorities. They're the big tent. They're the ones that welcome all the minorities that want to have rights into their tent. And now you got every one of them insulting all those minorities. It's unbelievable. I'm loving it, Tom. This is just great.
Yeah, I would say so. We were talking about the dog-faced pony soldier and all of that. Yeah. Interesting fact, John Wayne knew Wyatt Earp in Hollywood. Yeah, I would say, they worked, they were around the same era, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. So Trump is blatantly cheating taxpayers and there's no outrage? Republicans, anything? What? I forgot. Okay. Let me do this real quick then.
All right.
So Trump is blatantly cheating taxpayers and there's no outrage? Republicans, anything? Trump's pardon of Bernie Kerik also wipes out Kerik's $103,000 $300 debt to taxpayers.
Well, real quick, Bezos, $165 million mansion in Hollywood he's building. Mm-hmm. And last year, Amazon paid $150 million in taxes.
Okay.
I love it. You gotta love it, Tom. You just come on.
I love it. I love it. Let's go to the phones. We've had a caller patiently waiting, and we appreciate that very much. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
I've had enough of this Trump cult business.
Yeah.
You know, when back before they even had a Republican nominee for the presidency in 2015, early 2016, you know, we weren't even looking at Trump with all those other people. You know, because he wasn't a politician, we didn't know what his policies were per se, and we were looking at, you know, some of the more conservative candidates, hoping that they might get the nomination. But because Trump did, and because of the policies that he is implementing, we are totally, for Trump the way he is now, protecting the unborn, the right to pray, allying with Israel very strongly. This thing with the Trump cult, you know, a cult hides things. Trump has been investigated ever since he was inaugurated. You know, there's nothing hidden there, but a true cult hides things. And the texter, someone called or texted yesterday, all upset about this picture at the Daytona 500. You know, Trump probably didn't have anything to do with that. You know, but you have 33,000 emails from Hillary that have never been investigated. She destroyed evidence. You know, what was in those emails? It could have been stuff that was detrimental to the security of our country.
Yeah. Well,
for Democrats to be upset over this photo thing and not even care about the emails or Benghazi or Fast and Furious, you know, it's ridiculous.
Well, according to her, they were wedding plans and recipes, you know. So that's why she deleted them, because they were
right.
You know, it's the Senate brownie recipe that has to be kept secret, you know.
Sure. You know, if Bernie bled red, white, and blue, if he was a true patriot and loved our Constitution and loved the way this country is working, you know, yes, we have problems here and there, but for the most part, many of the things that this country does, we do well. If Bernie was, like I said, blood red, white, and blue, was a true patriot, loved the Constitution, loved this country, I could vote for him.
Sure.
You know, if Trump was a socialist, I wouldn't be voting for him. It's not like I voted for him to be my best buddy. You know, I don't know if I'd even like him really personally as a person. But the policies that he is purporting and implementing are good for this country, protecting our border. Hello, you know, you know, we don't have unlimited resources for the whole world to come here. It's you're
right. You know, he has done a lot of things. You know, we just talked about second chance, where prisoners get a chance to you know, get back into civilian life. He's got the right to try, that you can try experimental drugs for terminal illnesses. You know, he put that into effect. You know, I mean, there's you know, the rollback of regulations have you know, influence business to do better. The list is endless, you know.
Yeah. You know, one thing that has bugged me for and he's strengthening our military.
That too.
But one thing that has bugged me for a long time is the in our Constitution, if you come to the country, if you are born in this country, all of a sudden you're an American.
Yep.
And you have citizenship. When is that going to be changed? I mean, it's
a lot of people are rubbed the wrong way by that. That you just come across the border pregnant, and all of a sudden you got all the rights of a citizen. Now,
right.
You know, Shane and I have talked many times that you know, being born in America, to my way of thinking, is winning life's lottery. You know, I mean, we could just easily be in Bangladesh or, poor as church mice somewhere. But,
right.
But we're lucky enough to be here, and we're lucky enough to have free speech and, you know, freedom of movement, and, you know, we don't have to show our papers to everybody every time we enter or leave a store or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like, that should be changed because so many, like you said, so many people come across the border, have a baby, and then it's an anchor baby. Oh, I can't be sent back because my child is American because they were born right on this soil.
Yeah. Well, that's the law of the land for the moment, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to change because, we, as much as the Democrats don't like to admit it, we are an exceptional country, and being born here, I think is, as I say, you win life's lottery.
Yeah.
You got more
Shane,
opportunity here than anywhere else,
Yeah, Shane, in Canada, if a woman comes across the border and has a baby in Canada, is that baby a Canadian citizen?
Yep.
Really?
Same way there, I guess, huh?
Yep.
The same way.
But,
Yeah.
but if she comes across the border from another country, in other words, if she came from Mexico into the U.S. back into Canada, they get sent back to Mexico.
Yeah.
So someone from another country comes to Canada, has a baby. Is that baby considered a Canadian citizen?
No, not under the agreement the United States and Canada has, which we've talked about.
Yeah, you can go from America to Canada, or you can go from America to Mexico, I guess. But you can't come from Mexico, go through America, and then end up in Canada and be a Canadian citizen.
Yeah,
they would send you back to Mexico.
It's called a safe third country agreement.
Yeah. So that's one of the things they were arguing about with the caravans coming. They should have, all the caravan people should have stayed in Mexico under the agreement between Mexico and the United States and Canada.
And as we reported last December, your president negotiated deals with all three of those countries, also the similar agreement, not a treaty, so he doesn't need it approved. And at the risk of losing the federal benefits or foreign aid they get from the United States, all three countries signed El Salvador. Well, it's called the Northern Triangle: El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. All signed 3 safe third country agreements. So that's why there's no more caravans, because the minute they leave the country and go into Mexico, American buses take them back.
Yeah, and also the tariffs placed on Mexico got them to put the military at the southern border, which also stopped the caravan.
Right.
So
there you go. Lock the door, baby.
Yep.
Well, back to my earlier comment,
sure.
I've had enough of the Trump cult. We're looking at the policies. We're looking at the things that he has done in office.
Looking at results.
It's not because, I'm going to die for Trump.
Yeah.
It's because what he's doing for the country.
And he's done a good job as far as we can see. If you look at the results of where we are versus where we were, it's, I'd argue if I could, but I can't.
And what's sad is the African American Demolition Party. Racism isn't working to get the African American vote. So now they're denying the numbers. Employment for African.
Everybody's going. We can't accept those numbers. They don't jive with our. All right. Hey, thanks so much for the call. Thanks for listening.
Hey,
all right.
Have a good day.
You too.
Right.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back. 24 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday, February 19th, 2020, 19 degrees outside. I read some of these text messages, Shane, just to illustrate how ignorant and uninformed some of these folks are.
Like here's some numbers. Labor Department, go to their website. 75% of the jobs created last year were filled by African Americans and Mexican Americans. Of those, 50% were minority women, which is why 71% of the jobs created last year were filled by women. And, these numbers, they don't make this stuff up, okay? They just don't.
Yeah.
So.
If you count all the provisional ballots, Hillary wins. And they did get her emails. Well, I think, so what you're saying is there's voter fraud out there, huh? So then none of the Democrats have a chance if you believe that. So win the lottery, and not if you're born with a pre-existing condition. Well, that's crap too, because there's no insurance company right now that provides health insurance that doesn't cover pre-existing conditions.
And the brilliance of your founding fathers creating the Electoral College, folks, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
It prevents voter fraud. And so you'd think the Democrats, rather than wanting to get rid of it, would embrace it. Because, if there's voter fraud, let's say in California, 30 million people, and, say 1 or 2 million illegal immigrants are illegally voting, okay, so the state's carried by a Democrat. But the point is that it prevents the voter fraud across the country on a grand scale.
Yeah.
And there's positive and negative things about every conversation you have, but you got to be able to have the conversation.
Yeah. Well, Stacey Abrams from Georgia was complaining about voter suppression and all of that, and more blacks voted in that election than ever have before in history. So
exactly right.
From our text line, anchor baby status is simply a perversion of the intent of our founding fathers with regard to immigration. We are an exceptional country because we value natural, God-given, unalienable rights. That position does not require us to reject common sense. There you go.
There you go, man.
Gates was no dummy. He had written the basic program language, which IBM wanted packaged with their PCs. Well, that's not entirely accurate. He actually bought DOS for $120,000, I think, which is why IBM went to Gates and asked if he could create an operating system to go along with it. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what happened. Bill Gates went in and said, hey, I've got a program you can run on your computers. IBM thought the computers would be the focal point of making money, not the operating system. And so Gates,
that's right.
Gates took him to the cleaners for that. Yeah.
And two things here are really important. IBM tried to get into the market to create their own computer, which didn't work because the capital cost is huge. Apple's the only one that's done it. Created their own program with their own computer. Gates was just selling software. But to this day, IBM still is the largest software seller in the world.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Okay. As for Xerox, they had nothing to do with it. Well, they did because Jobs and Wozniak actually stole that from Xerox. They saw the mouse and the touch screen and all that at Xerox and decided they would put it into the Mac operating system. So if you have Windows today, you have Mac 1986. So their interesting connection to the personal computer world is that Steve Jobs obtained them from a piece of technology they created but didn't know what to do with. The Jobs immediately saw the power and potential of that device, which became the mouse pointing device, which basically all computers now use. Yeah, both were stolen. Gates stole it from Jobs and Wozniak, and Jobs and Wozniak stole it from Xerox. So there you are.
There in the sandbox now.
There you are, I guess. Okay. Shane, we've got a caller waiting. We're going to take a break here at the bottom of the hour for news and weather and all of that. So we'll be right back with more following these important words. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be back. 24 minutes for the top of the hour, and I do stand corrected on the price Gates paid for the operating system. He bought it from bought it from Seattle Computer Products for $50,000 and renamed it MS-DOS. So I am thankful for the texture correcting me on that one. Gates invested $180 million into Apple to keep them afloat and help them develop their windowing system. Well, they put $180 million into Apple because Microsoft would have been a monopoly had they not had Apple operating. So that's why, and it was $50,000 for the operating system, not $120 or whatever I said. So Windows and Apple have been Chinese thieves. Well, pretty much. I'm going to say that. Actually, Jobs and Wozniak stole the stuff they needed to create the first Apple computer from Hewlett-Packard, where they both worked. They walked out with boards and all kinds of stuff where they work. So yeah.
It's still the best operating system out there.
Well, yeah.
Red Cap came along. Several others came along, but the bottom line is it's a great operating system.
Yeah. Well, it thinks the way people think.
I think so. Yeah. I'm stupid. I can even use it.
Well, I know. I mean, you're in real trouble when to shut it down, shut Windows down. You got to go to start. I mean, that right there is just, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the thing I like about the Apple operating system is when I have a problem, I load my computer with too much and it starts going wacky.
Yeah.
So when I restart it,
yeah,
and to clear it up, the first thing that comes up on the screen when I go to Firefox is it says resume previous,
your previous things, yeah. And
so you click on it and all your boxes come back up.
Yeah, everything comes back up the way you had it. Yeah. Yeah.
I have like 13 boxes.
Well, I know.
Show, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. What have I got open now? On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on, and that's just in Chrome. Firefox, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over there. So.
Yeah, I have 16 files on Firefox.
Yeah, so we're ready for any contingency that comes at us.
Absolutely, baby. They got the backup. Research.
Whatever it is, yeah, we will. We are prepared for you. So it's a pretty good deal. Let's see. Let's see if we can get in a few of the 5 things you need to know. No surprise. There's been conflicting reports that Barr wants to quit over Trump's tweets. Some people say yes, some people say no. What do you think, Shane? Do you think Barr's going to quit?
No, but 2 things here are important with regards to that. If someone walks into the president's office and says, "Here's my resignation," he can refuse it. So what are you going to say to the president? No, I don't. I'm going to quit anyway. No, it doesn't work that way. So look, Barr's brilliant, and yesterday on the tarmac, Trump apologized. He said, "Yep, I've probably been."
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
overstepped my bounds a little bit. Yeah.
So I think and I think a lot of people have beat Trump up over it. I think he pays attention to this stuff. He watches news.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think Barr was wrong in what his statement was, and I think more importantly, the most important thing that Barr said in that he said it was, why are you trying to get yourself in trouble again with another impeachment issue? Like
right,
yeah. Like we've been through this once already, buddy. Let's just keep going.
Be quiet. Yeah, be quiet. Let's see, from our text line 4788298, Apple operating system is just Unix, created by Bell Labs and hundreds of computer scientists from many universities. And that's great. I don't disagree. I just know it's having had IBMs and Macs both since the beginning, I guess.
That's right.
I bought the first Mac in 85, I think. Little 9-inch screen, and thought I'd died and gone to heaven.
And remember, the only way to survive in capitalism is to monetize something. You may have the greatest product in the world, but if you can't make money from it, if you can't monetize it, well, that's what Apple and Steve Jobs was brilliant about. He figured out how to monetize things or provide a product that people would want to buy. Bill Gates created something and then went around, forced everyone to sign up for it, and they were locked in for life, right? That's,
All right. From our text line, 4788298, we're all sick of this President Trump cult BS. People against Trump, for the most part, are anti-truth, anti-patriot, anti-American, socialist-leaning Democrats who hate the traditional American values. Your last female caller very eloquently stated the problem with examples. You should give her the airtime you give Daniel. She makes much more sense. Let's take a call. Shane, if you can talk to them, I got to take a quick break here. We got to get Rush in here later on, too. So if you'll talk to them, I'll be right back. 14 minutes before the top of the hour, we've got a caller patiently waiting on the line. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, Tom, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey. I had a couple things. First, I'm going to talk about what I wasn't talking about with Shane, since it's fresh in my mind. Bernie Sanders, the Democrat elites, power brokers don't want him, not because he's so radical, because all the candidates believe in the same thing. They want the Green New Deal. They want free college. They want taxation of the yin-yang. It's that he says it.
Yeah, he
You know?
does.
I mean,
He's not glossing it over, is he? He's not sugarcoating anything.
He's like, what was it? Was it Mondale or
Yeah.
or one of those guys who was like, yeah, I am going to raise your taxes.
Yeah.
And then he lost in a landslide.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just like, hey, dude, stop saying you're a communist because we all are. But you can't say that. You're not going to get elected.
Yeah.
So you know, it doesn't really matter who we get from the Dems.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was saying is about, you know, Trump and the tweeting and his comments and maybe bringing up a second impeachment with all his stuff he's saying.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Every time the Democrats go after him, they fall flat on their face.
Yep.
Completely
Pretty much.
flat on their face. Yeah, and Trump comes out stronger with his base, stronger with, left, more conservative Democrats who are sick and tired of this communist push on the progressive left.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, you know, the tweeting, like Shane and I were talking about, the tweeting is to circumvent the media, which is completely biased against him, and he goes directly to the people through it. So I say keep tweeting, keep sticking your finger in their eye, and you'll be on to a 49-state landslide.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
I think for sure.
Yeah.
34 for me. That's my call. 34 states.
All right. I think he could take California. I mean, I know they're going to rig it up for King Gang, but
Yeah.
I think he could take some of these states. And I'm telling you, the African American vote is going to come out triple for him than what they did. You know, he had 8% last time. He gets 24, 25%.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's huge.
I don't remember them embracing the African American vote in the 2016. But now that they need them, or they think they do, oh my God, African Americans, we love you.
Are you talking about Trump or the Democrats?
The Democrats, yeah, we love you now.
Well, they love them every 4 years.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they keep them on the plantation, and then they then they bring up inequality. The year before the election, and then they go back to putting them on the plantation. I mean, it's over and over and over again. They do the same thing, and that's why Trump is great. Mm-hmm. And Trump is he's not just saying stuff; he's improving their lives. He's improving their everything that's going on. That's why they're finally saying, "What do you have to lose?" Yeah,
I hope they're finally waking up after 40 years of oppression.
Right.
Well, you know how confident your president is when he flies to California to raise money. I mean, this guy's got cojones. I mean, he may have small hands, but boy, he's got big cojones because he'll go anywhere.
I tell you, he has more support in California than you know. I know a handful of people in California who say there are a lot of Republican and conservatives and Trump supporters. They just get drowned out by San Francisco and the Hollywood.
Yeah, I think they're indoctrinated to, gee, I can't say what I really think, or otherwise I'll just be beaten to death,
Right. Oh yeah, you try going out with just friends in Bozeman who hate Donald Trump. I mean, the first thing they go is, "Hey, this guy's a Trump supporter. He doesn't believe in global warming." And it's like, "Hello, nice to see you guys too."
There you go. All right, man. Hey, thanks for the call.
That in Bozeman, that's known as a party night.
That is, yeah, that is. All right, I got to get the Rush update in here. Rush will indoctrinate you with some right-wing propaganda that's probably just total BS for our liberal viewers, or listeners, I should say. So be sure and listen to Rush so that you can comment after he's done. We'll be right back. Here's Rush. 4 minutes before the top of the hour. Shane, we've got a question from one of our texters at 478-8298. Do you think that because of President Trump's values, the Democrats will always hate him? If we truly cannot get along, a la Rodney King, Democrats are weakening America and keeping us from our true potential. Can you take the time to read this one, please, Tom? And I just did. So my theory is that the Democrats are trying to capitalize on we're gonna be the party that's going to give you everything, and you have no personal responsibility at all. We're going to take care of you from cradle to grave. Nothing you do is wrong. Everything you do is right. and we're gonna educate you, we're gonna feed you, we're gonna clothe you, we're gonna house you, we're gonna take care of your medical. Everything is gonna be lollipops and rainbows if you vote Democrat.
That's right. You got it, Eagle Man. A zinger for you. And look, Trump doesn't care about any of this. He cares about policy and solving problems. That's all. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. And that's what we've talked about here with, as I say, does Trump lie? Of course. Does he embellish? Absolutely. Do we care? Well, if he's going to lie about giving us a tax cut and then doesn't, yeah, we care. Yeah. If he's going to lie about right to try experimental drugs if you're dying, yeah, we care.
Yeah, if he's going to demolish the oil industry and the gas industry and the building industry and the food industry then we farming, we care. Yeah,
we care a little bit about that stuff. Yeah. Do we care about a wrong photo on a website? I don't think so. I don't know. Or the tax cut, the biggest in history. Well, I don't care if it's the 1st, the 10th, the 50th. We got a tax cut.
Well, the Democrats, the Demolition Party, voted for it, so there you go.
There we go. Let's take one more quick phone call, and you got to go, Shane, or we both got to go.
Yeah. There's no call there. There isn't?
No call. Oh, you're right. Okay. All right.
But I do get to say goodbye. Love you, Tom. You're the best.
All right.
And as my handle says, live in the moment, live to work, be happy, be safe, and God bless the people of the Gallatin Valley.
All right. Thank you, Shane, for being here. Absolutely every day. We appreciate you getting up an hour earlier than we get up here. It's great. So you are indispensable part of the show. So we appreciate you very much. And we appreciate all our listeners and texters and callers very much as well as all you listeners out there. As George Carter always says, you do the show for the listeners, not the callers. And that's what we try to do here. So a couple things that are coming up here before we've got to take or get out of here anyway. The Bozeman Sunrise Rotary is accepting applications until April 1st, for homeowners to receive free home repairs during the 2020 Fix Up Festival. All you need to do is give them a call at 580-7853, 580-7853. Applicants must be low income to qualify, confirmed by HRDC as part of the screening project. They must live in Belgrade, Bozeman, Four Corners, or Gallatin Gateway, and they have to be the homeowner. And mobiles and modular homes qualify. Preference will be given to those 65 or older, disabled, and veteran homeowners. So go to fixupfestival.com or give them a call at 580-7853. Also, we got free meat for veterans. That's coming up on February 22nd at the Commons, 1794 East Baxter Lane, 10 to 4. So if you're a service person, bring proof that you were in the service, either past or present, and they'll get you fixed up as some free meat on February 22nd. We'll be back 6 a.m. tomorrow.